Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Inferno. Back at it with another throwback tunes on another Thursday, and I am reviewing The Movement by Inspectah Deck. So this is his second studio album. This one came out June the 10th, 2003, and it was recorded from 2002 up to 2003, done by Kuch Records, how you pronounce that joint. So the producers involved were Phantom of the Beats, Ayatoya, Arabian Night, and Falling Down, and that's it. So yeah, there you go with that. So let's see. A departure from Uncontrolled Substance, darker, soul-inspired sound, which was his debut album, which I reviewed last week, by the way. The Movement is more upbeat and expressive. According to Inspectah Deck, Uncontrolled Substance was just me, and I'm quoting here, was just me as an ill lyricist wanting to put an album out. I just wanted to be heard. The Movement is me behind the scenes, behind everything I'm doing, everything. All the credits got Inspectah Deck on it this time. I was able to put my soul into it. So that's pretty interesting right there. Anybody say so myself. All right, let's check out the charts for this album. So The Movement was 137 on the top Billboard 200. It was 29th on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart, but it also peaked at number 7 on the US top R&B/hip hop albums charts as well. So that's very interesting. All right, so let's take a look at the tracks. So there's 16 tracks. One of them is a skit, and the rest are actual songs. So that means I can give you guys a top 5 and not a top 3. So here we go. The first track is called Intro, then parentheses The Movement. So that's the only skit right there. Next up is City High. Then we got That Shit, followed by Get Right. Next up is The Movement, followed by Who Got It. Track number 7 is called It's Like That, followed by Shorty Right There, featuring Street Life. Track number 9 is called You, as in the letter U. You Wanna Be, W-A-N-N-A, You Wanna Be. Track number 10 is called Framed, featuring Cool G Rap and Killer Sin. Track number 11 called Bumpin' and Grindin', both without the G at the end, but with the apostrophe. Track number 12 is called Vendetta, followed by The Stereotype. Track number 14 is called That Nigga, followed by Big City. And then track number 16, the last track off this album, is called Cradle to the Grave, featuring Mo Jahan, how you pronounce that joint. So yeah, there you go with that. Now, also there are 7 singles. Remember something correctly. Was there 7? No, my bad. There was 5 singles off of this album, similar to his debut album, but none of them made the charts, and only one of them got a music video, and that one would be The Movement. So there you go with that. So not much info for me to give in regards to the singles or anything like that. So let me give you my best tracks from worst to first. So, and before I do that, I just want to say that the intro, the beat used is really cool in that joint. So moving on, Cradle to the Grave is the worst track off this album, but only by comparison. The tempo is cool, same with the melody and the bass, but it could have used a bit more of the bass if you ask me. The kick is cool, but the snare is just straight. Overall, the track is cool. Get Right. The tempo is really cool. The melody is cool. No bass hurts. The kick is cool, and the snare is just straight. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is You Wanna Be. The tempo is really cool. The melody is cool. The bass is really cool. The kick is cool, but a bit weak. The snare is cool, but could have picked a different one. Overall, the track is cool. Next up, The Stereotype. The tempo is really cool. The melody/sample is cool. The bass is cool. Same with the kick. The snare is cool. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is Vendetta. The tempo is cool. The melody/sample is really cool. The bass is really cool as well. The kick is cool. The snare cool. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is Shorty Right There. The tempo is cool. The drum pattern is unique and cool. The melody is really cool. Same with the bass. The kick is cool. Same with the snare. Overall, the track is cool. Then we got Big Shit City. The tempo is really cool. The drum pattern is a bit unique, but still cool. Melody is really cool. No bass hurts a bit. The kick/808s are cool. The snare is cool. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is Like That. Tempo is borderline cool, really cool, so he's in between. The drum pattern is unique and really cool. The melody is really cool. The bass is cool. Could have added more bang to it. Now here's why the drum pattern was unique. There was 2 different kicks and 2 different snares. The main kick is cool, but the other kick used is really cool. Now in regards to the 2 snares, how it works is within each line, if you know what a line is, so you know how there's like 2 lines in the bar. So if you say a line like blah, well, I ain't gonna get into it, but yeah, one line, there's 2 snares. So 2 snares per line. The first snare in the line is just straight. The second snare, however, is really cool. Overall, this track is really cool. Alright, so next up is that nigga. Tempo is cool, melody is cool, the bass is really cool. Same with the kick and the snare. Overall, this track is really cool as the drums and the bass really made this track, if you ask me. And then we got Who Got It. The tempo is cool, the sample / melody is really cool, the bass is really cool, same with the kick. The snare is cool, overall the track is really cool. Now I'm about to give you guys my top 5 tracks off this album. The 5th best track off this album is Frame. The tempo is really cool, same with the melody. The bass is straight though, needs way more of it. The kick is cool, the kick is borderline cool, really cool. So it's up there. The snare is really cool, and overall the track is really cool. Next up is That Shit. The tempo is really cool. The melody is cool. No bass hurts a bit. The kick is excellent. The snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool. Next up is Bumpin' and Grindin'. The tempo is excellent. The drum pattern is unique and cool. The melody is really cool. The bass is straight, just needs to be more evident. Like, you can barely tell if there's a bass there or not. So it needs to be more obvious that there is a bass there. But moving on, the kick is really cool. Same with the snare, overall the track is really cool. And the second best track off this album, I really wanted this to be my number 1, and that is City High. The tempo is cool, but the sample / melody is excellent. The bass is cool, as they use the samples bass. So they would have like input their own bass. It would have been really cool at least. The kick is really cool. The snare is really cool. The track is really cool. Now the sample used is the same sample 50 Cent used in his track I'm Not Rich and Still Lying, which was a game disc. So I heard the sample, I'm like, wait, man, this sounds familiar. And it sounded like that 50 Cent joint. I had to find it, but yeah, I managed to find it on YouTube. Like the sample is like the sample 50 used is parts of the sample Inspectah Deck used with this City High track. But yeah, either way, it's really cool. Really like that melody. Really like the sample rather. No one track off this album though is The Movement. The tempo is really cool. The sample / melody is excellent. The synth bass is cool, but could have used a bit more or used a different kind of bass. The kick is really cool. The snare is excellent, and the track is really cool. Without question, The Movement is the best track off this album, followed by City High. It was really close to some degree. I really want City High to be number 1, but once I heard The Movement, I'm like, nope, yeah, The Movement, best track off this album. So let's see what the professional ratings rated this album, or the professionals rated this album rather. All Music gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and Hip Hop DS gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and that was it. So what do I think about this album? Okay, so I only heard Inspectah Deck 2 albums, and obviously these were the 2 albums, and he have a grand total of 3. And really, one was supposed to come out last year. I don't know if it did or not, but that's beside the point. I have to say that The Movement is much better than Uncontrolled Substance, even though Uncontrolled Substance did much better on the charts. But The Movement was a much better album. I'm gonna have to give this one a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend you download it and you keep it. So there was a lot of great tracks on this album. So The Movement, City High, Bumpin' Grindin', That Shit, Frame, Who Got It, That Nigga Is Like That. It was a lot of great tracks on this album, and some of the other tracks I didn't mention, they was pretty cool too. Even though none of them like really was like that ultimate classic, but like there was a lot of great tracks on this album. So 4.25 out of 5. I highly recommend you download it and you keep it. If you got the physical copy, then that's a bonus. So I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is your boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.